So the title is Evaluating the Effects of Different Mechanical Flow Thinners on the Production, Cost, and Fluid Quality Characters in Table and Processing Pitch Cultivars. So you have 50 minutes, 3 minutes before leaving the bell.
Thank you very much.
We're on time now.
Good afternoon. Our study was to compare the effects of different mechanical flower thinners on the production cost, the fluid quality, and pitch fragment occurrence in processing pitch cultivars. Nowadays, the optimization of the pitch calculation procedure need to be directed, among others, to reduce production cost. Pruning steering by hand is one most cultivation practice together with pruning, and thus its mechanization is necessary. There are many different mechanical thinners available in the market. Some of them are vehicle mounted in a tractor, and some other are lighter. There are some handheld machines operated by the lithium battery. The effects of mechanical thinning on the production cost and fluid quality may depend on the machine type, the time of application, at blooming time or at fruitlet stage, and the shape of trees. The mechanical thinning is usually applied at the blooming stage or fruitlet stage, thus altering the sourcing relation compared with when the thinning is done during the peak hardening stage. However, thinning before peak hardening may increase the incidence of split pit or pit fragment occurrences during the canning process in non-melting pitch varieties. Little is known on the effects of mechanical thinning at blooming on the performance of non-melting pitches, mechanical cultivars during the canning process, on the fruit quality in these pitch cultivars, and cost benefits when comparing the mounted and handheld thinner. The aim of our study was to compare the effectiveness of two machines, one handheld thinning machine, the FAC1, and a tractor-mounted rotor, the Darwin, on the reducing the production cost, the yield and fruit quality in different non-melting pitch cultivars, and the occurrence of split pits during the pitch canning process. The mechanical thinning was applied in 5 non-melting pitch cultivars in Katerina, Perpulus, Andrews, Evers, and BLG. And you can see we have early ripening, medium ripening, and very late ripening cultivars. And after the mechanical thinning was conducted during full bloom, and it was followed by hand thinning about 50 days after full bloom, leaving only one fruit approximately every 10 centimeters of fruit. The control trees were thinning by hand also at 50 days after full bloom. I also said that we used 2 different mechanical thinners, the handheld Ifaco, your left side, and the vehicle-mounted Darwin. We measured the time and the cost required to thin each tree, the yield and the number of fruits per tree, the fruit weight and size, the resistance to pressure, the salt content, the tetrability acidity, and also the percentage of pit fragments during processing in the canning pitch industry in pitch called pitch cultivars. The reduction of the time that required for the thinning was varied among 8 to almost 40% in comparison with the control trees, and the saving of the cost was from 100 to almost 800 euros per hectare. When we applied the thinning with the Ifaco machine, the reduction was lower in the lower rotation speed of the machine. When we use the impact machine at about 800 RPM, the reduction was from 100 to 400 euros per hectare. And when we use the impact at 1,300 RPM, was almost 800 euros per hectare. This machine was more effective at higher speed rotation. But when we use the Darwin motor-mounted machine in a higher speed at 200 RPM, the cost reduction was lesser than when we use it in lower speeds. We don't see any difference in the yield among the different treatments, except for the variety surplus. When we use the vehicle-mounted machine, we show a reduction in the total yield and on the number of fruit. Probably we have an overthinning treatment using the vehicle-mounted machine. In other cultures, we have no difference. But in Caterina and Andrews, we have more fruit wrapping at the first harvest day. We have an elements in this cultivars. The fruit weight was greater in Caterina when we used the thinner machines, and slightly increased also in Andrews cultivars, and not in the other cultivars. When we classify all the fruits of the tree in terms of diameter, we measure larger fruit size only in cultivar Caterina and Andrews, probably because the fruit has more synthetic products available after thinning. And when we cut the fruit in the processing machine industry, only in cultivar Andrews we measure more big fragments comparing with the control. In the other cultivars, we have no difference between control and the thin machines. There were no differences between treatments in food quality characteristics such as fairness, solids, stability, acidity, or the juice content. So, for conclusion, we can say that mechanical flour thinning can reduce the time and the cost of thinning. The higher speed, especially in handheld machines, can result in large effectiveness, but we can have to care must taken when applying mechanical thinning to avoid over-thinning and reduce yields, for example in cultivar petrol. In some cases, we have early ripening timing and larger fruit sizes when we apply the mechanical thinning, especially in the early ripening cultivars like Caterina. There are no effects on mechanical thinning on the percentage of thick fragments during processing, except for cultivar Andrews, who have an increase from 7 to almost 20%. And the choice of thinning machine depends on the tree training system, which is very difficult to use the big mountain thinners in trees trained like vase or open vase seed, not in all tree systems. And the mechanical thinning, of course, must be applied only without the risk of string fruit damage. Before I finish, I would like to thank the grower, Mr. Gheorghiu, who provided us all the supporters to do all of these experiments. And thank you for your attention.
So thank you very much for your presentations, George. We have time for 5 minutes time for questions. If you have some questions, please. We have time now.
One minute.
Some quick questions?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
While we're waiting. What was your tractor speed using that Darwin? What was the tractor speed? Because we found tractor speed.
I thought it was 6 kilometers per hour.
6-7.
6-7.
6-7.
7 kilometers per hour.
We go 2 miles, so a little bit slow, about the same. Okay, thank you.
So I have another question. Do you think the efficiency of the thinning mechanically is depending on the blooming intensity? You have some evidences because, for example, Katerina is high blooming intensity, of her goal is low blooming intensity. The response in this interaction is significant.
Yes, it was an interaction. That's where the Katerina cultivar, we have many flowers in every fruit. That's why we have a bigger efficiency in Katerina
Because more
trees, more productive in Katerina trees than in Everett in other cultivars.
So we can conclude that the positive effect of the mechanical thinning is related with this factor, with the blooming intensity. So in low or mid blooming varieties should be not needed.
Yes.
Okay.
Questions? Oh, awake, aren't you? Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
That all this
I-
work. You don't want to hear us talk about it.
So let's go to the, thank you very much, George.